Hey everyone, welcome to my channel. I hope you're all doing well. I'm just here at the park finishing up on my daily walk, and I felt inspired to make a little video for you guys. So I've been getting some questions about my morning routine, and I've really been reading and thinking about the topic of routines a lot recently, so it felt like a good time to make this little video. I love watching YouTube videos of other people's morning routines. I always find it really fascinating and inspiring. But I usually feel like a lot of the routines that I see are not that realistic. Some of the videos I've watched, it seems like the routine would take hours to get done. And whenever I watch them, I think there's no way I would actually realistically implement that myself in my day-to-day life. Because, things get busy and you don't necessarily have the time to do 30 things every morning before you're ready to get on with your regular day-to-day stuff. So I figured I would share my own morning routine because I do think it is pretty realistic and it's also fairly minimalistic as a routine. So let's just go through it and I'll let you know, and you guys can let me know if you think this is realistic, and you can share with me your own morning routine. So first thing is rise. I always make sure that I get up usually at around 7 a.m. To me, that is the sweet spot, never past 8 a.m. If I wake up any later than that, it's just pretty much impossible for me to not be lethargic and drowsy, and I don't seem to get as much work done. Now, everyone's morning wake up time is going to vary depending on the job that you do and how much sleep you had the night before. But I mean, I always sleep 8 to 10 hours actually a night, which I know is a lot, but I love sleep and I thrive when I get 8 or 9 hours. So yeah, 7 a.m. to me is the perfect time to wake up. I always try to have the same bedtime schedule. I'm pretty much always in bed by 10:30 on weekends. Maybe it'll go a little later than that, but usually I'm in bed by 10:30 and I wake up around 7 a.m., 8 a.m. if it's more like a weekend or something like that. Second thing is to energize. Now, this is where I might lose some of you guys because I know not everyone is a fan of this, but nothing happens for me until I have my morning coffee. And this has been like the sacred routine that has been instilled in me for many years. So obviously after I wake up, 7, 8 a.m., whatever, and I shower and get dressed, all the regular stuff, the boring stuff that everyone has to do. So there's no need for me to actually talk to you about it. Before I do anything work related or otherwise, I make coffee. And this really is, it's hard to explain, but it really does feel like a very Zen ritual, like a very sacred time for me when I'm brewing my coffee and when I pour that cup of coffee to when I sit down and actually drink it. It's a moment of silence for me, and it's usually the time where I get to cuddle Cleo and Kit Kat, but I really I don't do anything else. I just sit and I sip my coffee, and it's a really great space and time for me to acclimate to being awake because I am pretty out of it sometimes when I wake up. So I always have a nice cup of coffee, and I know not everyone is a fan of coffee and caffeine, but my God, I just love it so much. So the third step for me is to be thankful and visualize. I like to use the 5-minute journal. It's a very simple little journal from Alex Icon and Mimi Icon. They have a huge YouTube channel, the Luxy Hair channel, and their own personal ones. Anyway, they created this journal called the 5-minute journal, and it's very simple. You don't even really need to buy one. All you need to do is first thing in the morning, basically after I've had my coffee, I open up the page for the 5-minute journal and I begin my day by stating 3 things that I am grateful for, 3 things that would make today great, and then I write down 1 affirmation. And you don't need to buy any kind of fancy journal or book. However, if you wanted to get the actual 5-minute journal, I will link that down below because I do love it and I do definitely recommend it. But even if you just use your own journal, your own diary, a piece of paper, or even if you just think it through, while you're still in bed, to start your day with gratitude is just the most amazing way to just get in touch with your heart and your mind and really focus on what you have rather than everything else that you need to do or everything else that you wish you had or the things that you want. So starting with gratitude is always something that I do in the morning. And then the other piece that I think is really important is the affirmation. So I will write 1 affirmation every single day. And then finally listing 3 things that would make the day great is a really great way to prioritize all of your to-dos for the day. It's a way to get super focused and know exactly what it is that you would like to accomplish from the day, especially if you know that you're going to have a super busy day. If you can just focus it on 3 things, 3 main things, that if this is all you did today was to accomplish those 3 things, you would know that you had an awesome day. That has been super, super, super helpful to me, so I definitely recommend it. Now, the other thing, after I'm done using my little 5-minute journal, and it really only takes a couple minutes, so there's no excuse not to do it, the next thing is inspire. So in our lunar yoga community, for those of you who don't know, I run this program for women, online program called Lunar Yoga, and we do new moon and full moon yoga, meditation, journaling, and then we also have a monthly book club. So after I'm done doing my 5-minute journal, I'll read for a few minutes whatever our book club is for that month. So right now, as I'm filming this, the book that we're reading is One Day My Soul Just Opened Up by Iyanla Vanzant. And the way her book is structured is that every day you have like 4 or 5 pages to read with some little affirmations. So once I'm done with the 5-minute journal, I'll open that up on my Kindle or on my computer, and I'll just read. And this is a great way to get a little daily hit and daily dose of inspiration. And the way her book is structured is that every day has a theme, so it kind of helps to theme my day. But really, what I read in the morning just depends on which book we are reading in the Lunar Yoga community, but I always make sure that I take a little 5 to 10 minutes here and there. I really don't spend that much time reading because, I mean, it's the morning, you know, I got things to do. So once that's done, the next big step is to organize. And this is like my favorite part because I love getting organized and making lists. So that step is all about making a to-do list for the day. I don't know how people survive without making a to-do list. I feel super scattered and really unfocused and unclear about what I should be doing if I don't make a very clear list of all the tasks that I have to do. So every day, it doesn't matter what I did the day before, I always take a fresh new page out of my little planner, out of my little journal, and I write a brand new list. So I'll start the list by going over yesterday's list and looking at all the items that were left unmarked or left undone, and then I'll transcribe those, and I always make sure that those are priorities. So I want to complete those, you know, tasks on my list before tackling the new to-dos that are to be done today. So I'll write those down, and then I'll write down anything else that I think I need to do either today or even for the rest of the week. Like, honestly, whatever I can think of that is a to-do item, it's going on that list. And another form of organization that I like with lists is I definitely mostly rely on that journal and starting a fresh new list every day, but I also use my Google Calendar a lot. So at the same time that I'm opening up my journal and, you know, listing all my tasks that I have to do for that day, I'm also going to open up my Google Calendar and I look at the month view and I just see what the big items are that I have to do for this day, the rest of the week, and the rest of the month, because that's how I get to figure out what my daily to-dos are. You know, it's always based on the big projects, the big milestones, the deadlines, all that kind of stuff. It helps me kind of figure out and prioritize what I actually have to do today. So I would be lost without my Google Calendar. That thing is packed. So once the to-do list has been created and I've checked my Google Calendar, now I actually just roll up my sleeves. Morning routine is pretty much done, and I actually just go ahead and get to work. So from 9 a.m., usually it's about 8:30 or 9 a.m. by the time I'm done this, and I work all the way through till noon. Now, I'm going to add one more element to my morning routine, but it's something that I do at noon, at lunchtime. So technically, it's not the morning anymore. However, I do it every single day without fail, and it marks the end of the morning. So it's like the transition from morning to afternoon. So this is what I'm doing right now, and it is my daily walk. So without fail, usually pretty much right on the dot at noon, I close everything down and I go for a 30 to 45-minute walk. This is a non-negotiable for me. I do it rain or shine, and those of you who live in Canada know that it can get pretty cold in the winter, but I still go out for a walk. I might not do it for as long as I do in the summer. Like right now, it's August, it's beautiful out, but I always go out for a walk. The reason I started walking every day is that in the morning, it's very easy for me to be productive and focused, but as soon as 1 p.m. hits, I get a major slump, I get really lethargic, and I find it a lot harder to concentrate on the task at hand, and then I might like mess around on the internet internet or on my phone, and I really don't get as much work done. So I started breaking up my day at noon by going for a nice walk outside. So not like on the treadmill or anything, but like actual outdoor walk to get a little bit of sunshine. And it has made a huge difference. And I like to walk pretty fast and vigorously. I like to, elevate my heart rate and get like a little bit of a workout in. And throughout my walk, I either listen to an audio book on Audible. And by the way, little, affiliate link here. If you guys want to try Audible for free, I do have a coupon code for 1 month. I'll post the link to that down below. But usually that's what I'll do. For a half hour or 45 minutes, I'll listen to whatever audiobook I'm listening to right now. Right now I'm listening to the, what's it called? The Way of Kings series by Brandon Sanderson. It is awesome. And if I'm not listening to my audiobook, I'm going to listen to affirmations. I love to listen to affirmations while I'm walking. It really helps to kind of solidify it into place. So half an hour to 45 minutes outside. I always end up here in this park. This is a little dog park. It's really fun to be here in the summer because there's always like a bunch of dogs that you can play with and pet. And, who doesn't like to pet dogs? I mean, come on. So that pretty much marks my morning routine. And now you might be wondering, well, aren't you a yoga teacher? Shouldn't you be like doing yoga or something in the morning? The truth is, I just don't really like to do yoga in the morning. I am more of an afternoon or evening yoga practitioner, but in the morning, it's just, I've tried it, but it's just not my favorite thing to do. I'd much rather get right into my routine and right into work, and then I break up my day with a nice long walk, and then maybe in the evening I'll do a little bit of yoga, but throughout the day, no yoga for me. So I hope this, helps or inspires you in some way to get some kind of morning routine and ritual going. Just know it doesn't have to be crazy and complicated and super extensive. This is only 6 things. It takes me maybe 20 minutes in total, plus of course my walk that takes a little bit longer, but a morning routine doesn't have to be 30 steps and it doesn't have to take 2 or 3 hours. Whatever helps you get focused and settled and makes you feel productive and optimistic about the day ahead, to me, is a really great routine to have. I'm super curious to see if you guys have a morning routine. Please let me know what it is. And if you are new to my channel, please do subscribe. I put out new videos every single week and I would love your support. It helps to support free yoga on the internet and it costs nothing, just hitting that subscribe button. I'll post the link to all the resources I mentioned in this video down in the description box. And yeah, that's it. I'm about to go and finish up my daily walk and then it's back to work for me. Have a great day, guys. Thank you so much. Namaste.